is a beautiful day in the city of Lake Arrowhead, California. I hope both of these are capturing me in frame. The iOS camera, iPhone 11 Pro Max, 11 Pro Max, 11 Pro Max, EOS M50. Too many numbers. Why don't they just say Canon 23 and iPhone 12? That's it. And if it's a better one, it's 13. Just kill me already. So anyhow, we are at my brand new listing up at the top of Lake Arrowhead. It is an absolutely beautiful day today. So I'm going to be able to show a bunch of dynamic contrasts, which again, I'm not a photographer, so I don't even know if that's a real series of words, but we are going to have a quick stroll down to the lake and walking through the house, where this is going to be more for, I guess, just an average Joe side-by-side comparison. I'll keep it short and sweet, but I do want to walk through this house real quick. Some of the rooms will have lights, some of the rooms won't have lights, and at the end of this process, oh my god, this thing's heavy. At the end of this process, I plan on rendering these I'm going to edit these using LumaFusion, which is the app I use on my iPad to edit, and I will render them in 1080p at 30 frames a second. Both of them have no settings at all. They're in their native. On the EOS M50, I just have it with the green switch, and I shut off anything. The iPhone, I guess I tap the center of the screen just to make sure, I don't know, white balance is on my shirt, I guess. Maybe I should do the same here. I don't know. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to show you through this house real quick, because that's what I'm here for, holding an open house. And I figured I'm about to sell this EOS M50. I might as well get the best of it by creating a review or a comparison between the both of those. Let's go. Now, I suppose in all fairness, now that I'm looking at this camera, the 11 to 22 is a slightly wider lens. So from this point forward, I'm actually going to take it to the wider lens on that iPhone, just so that we get the same frame, because in the beginning of this film, all you're watching is just the one lens that's the main lens on the iPhone. And I am again using the rear facing camera. I'm not going to use the front facing camera on this thing at all. All right, now it looks like it might actually be a more fair comparison, since I have this 11 to 22 and that one being a wide angle. Now let's keep going. And I may as well take advantage of my real estate tour. Yeah, you are looking at my listing in 27721 Peninsula in the city of Lake Arrowhead, California. And it is a 1, 2, 3 bedroom property, but 4 bedroom property, but it's got all sorts of spaces. So totally 4 bedrooms, but it sleeps like 10. There's another loft up at the top. Yeah, it's a great house. Anyhow, I'm going to take you on a tour real quick of that property. I'm going to start with the best part, and that is the balcony. And it is absolutely gorgeous in the fall right now. I keep looking down here because I'm holding this camera. It is beautiful in the fall right now. And I'm going to walk you down to the lake, because this is a lakefront property. Well, not lakefront, because this is close to the lake. So I'm going to actually take you through a couple of spots that are going to have amazing colors, and you're going to see just, I think this is going to be a good comparison, because there's going to be a lot of lights going through trees. And check it out. Now I'm gonna do this with a lot of like seriously strong direct sunlight behind me and a bunch of trees, so you can kind of see where it grabs some of the lights and shadows. And I think the iPhone is just crushing. It's doing a good job. Let's walk down to the lake real quick. Now I can already tell there's a couple of things that are different as we walk down to the lake. Let's try the Telephoto Zoom because there's squirrels. So already you can see one huge advantage of the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and that is, let's take the path, and that is, I do have another lens, a telephoto lens in my bag back there, but that means that I'd be carrying another lens. The battery life on the iPhone Pro Max, I've been rocking that thing for about 3 weeks. I've had the EOS M50, God, maybe about a year or so. And I always wonder, is it worth carrying these things? Big old vlog camera. Yeah, it's kind of cool to like go places, and there's this cliche, I'm holding a Joby GorillaPod and it's got a big camera on it, therefore I'm a vlogger. Everybody asks me, right? There's this badge or flag of honor to be a vlogger. But then again, what do you get out of it, right? Attention? Does that mean I'm giving out business cards for this? No. Check out these yellows that are coming up right here. This is what I really was excited about doing with this video today, is the colors today. It's October 15th, 20th, October 20th. And the colors, I'm gonna switch it over to the path now so you guys can see these colors are incredible, and hopefully we'll see what these cameras do. So as I was saying earlier, it's always, and I have to flip the screen around. Now, normally I do vlog using the selfie camera, but with the wide angle lens, and you put it at the end of a Joby GorillaPod or any selfie stick for that matter. Oh, look at those colors. Which one's picking it up? That's the cabin I'm selling right there. Look at those colors. That is just amazing. Love it up here at this time of year. It's incredible. So we're walking down to the lake. I'm going to take some lake shots. I'm not going to do any still photos for this because I don't... photography, I mean, you can assume that any one of these frames, standalone, are probably a hell of a good image. I mean, these are all 30 frames per second. I'm assuming if you jack it up to 60 frames a second, maybe that makes better photos. Just assume that if the camera is kicking butt, and if you're using this for the purposes of real estate in particular, this is a mirrorless camera versus a phone. There's going to be a lot more smart technology in the phone. There's going to be a lot more processing. Granted, it is using like an HDR, which is high definition real estate. That's going to give you a better effort. It's going to pop colors. It's going to think harder to process. Where this mirrorless is just like, whatever, do it later. And if you don't have time for that, then it sucks, right? Because you have to process it. Guys, I try to do daily vlogs, and my daily vlogs are really just on my Snapchat spectacles, which I guess I'll do a quick little comparison of these. I'll throw a little picture-in-picture of my spectacles so you can be like, yeesh, James, stick with the iPhone. So check out the beach here. Watch. Beautiful. Again, looking at me, the sun is behind the camera. You guys are looking right at it. Just see how like my skin tone, the color of my skin. Again, again, both of these you're going to see my arm extending out because it's getting very heavy on this camera. But normally I would have a lighter selfie stick on either one of these and it'd be much lighter. I wanted you guys to look at the color contrasts in the boats and then the shadows going down. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so you're getting the highest amount of sunlight. But I want you to kind of just look at the way the light's refracted off of the lake. I want you to consider the yellows and the greens in here. And I'm going to do a telephoto zoom off into the coolest part of the day and maybe the background behind me so that you guys kind of see again. This 110 by 11 by 22 millimeter is not going to have any telephoto, but it is going to be wide angle, which again, I'd have to go back to my bag and grab that telephoto instead of just touching a screen on the iPhone Pro Max. So check it out. All right, so now I have the sun directly behind me, pretty much directly behind me. You're gonna see, am I blowing out? Is this thing just totally blackening me? I think both of them are gonna pick up the different definitions, but I think the iPhone's probably gonna process this better. I don't know. Now to edit the video, but let's see the colors as I walk up one more time with the sun facing. And just to outdo the EOS M50, let's see what this thing, the Canon, let's see what the iPhone Pro Max does with this cool, colorful tree playing with the lenses. So I think it's safe to say that with the 11 to 22 and the standard camera lens on the iPhone, it kind of looks like it's about the same zoom factor and a very fair balance between the two as far as how much fits in the frame. I thought I'd mention that because I figured that out just now. And before my big hike back up, I guess what I'll do is I'll take one photo just with the standard settings on both of these cameras. That 1122 will be zoomed out all the way just so that it grabs the same frame size and I don't have to zoom in after production. And I'll show you like 3 photos with no processing or anything. Ready? massive storage place underneath the unit, and I've seen other people build under it. So I'm gonna go under there and test this thing with low light. Ready? In both photos and camera. And just for the sake of like fairness, I'm gonna get in here and close the door on myself and see how it does in pitch black. Yeah, all for the content. No. Now, in all fairness, that wasn't totally pitch black because there's a little vent down below, but it's about as close as it's gonna get for me today, just to kind of show you the comparisons. And I was surprised actually. The Canon had done a little bit of effort to make that light. I just thought when it was black, I pushed the shutter button and that was it. But no, the Canon actually recognized it. And I would go as far as to say that with the default pushing the shutter button on the Canon, it actually grabbed some of the light in the room and took a photograph, where shutting off the iPhone Pro Max night vision, which is completely unfair to the Canon, the iPhone failed. But hey, if you got the tools to cheat, you know, that goes back to having the lenses. So is it fair to have the Canon compete with low light when it comes to the iPhone? If you have the tools and you can use them, then what is it if it's cheating? Carrying a massive camera bag or just carrying one phone?